Hi, I'm Jennifer McConnell. I first learned about Willie through one of her other clients. I was experiencing a pretty bad flare-up from Crohn's disease, which I had had for 20 plus years. And I was sort of at my wit's end as far as taking medication that I didn't really feel like was helping. So I went to see Willie, and at the same time I was in touch with my gastroenterologist, my GI doctor. When I went to see Willie, the first thing that really impressed me was I felt like she, first of all, really knew what she was talking about, but I also felt like she knew what I was talking about. She could relate to what I was talking about. And a lot of what she was saying seemed like just common nutritional sense. So I felt really comfortable taking the next step and starting the program with her. When I started the program, I was on some medication for Crohn's disease. And like I said, I was having, I had had 2 really bad flare-ups in a row, which for me was pretty unusual. And it was starting to really affect my life. I have 2 young kids. I was telling them that I couldn't hug them or snuggle with them because my stomach was hurting. And it just was, I just knew that there had to be a better way of dealing with this. So I started the Willie program. And 3 weeks into it, I went to see my GI doctor. And at the time, I told my GI doctor that I was seeing this nutritionist. And I told her a little bit about the Willie diet and about the fact that we were really focusing on trying to heal my gut and to lessen the inflammation, which was really the key with my autoimmune disease. And my GI doctor was, I wouldn't say unsupportive, but she wasn't really impressed. She told me that that's great that I'm seeing this nutritionist and that I'm on a healthy diet, but that nutrition really, or diet, was not going to affect the inflammation that I was experiencing. At the time, she also told me that if I didn't go on to this very strong drug therapy, that I was probably going to end up having surgery within the next 6 months. And like I said, I'd been battling Crohn's disease for 20 years, and luckily I've never had surgery. I've never been hospitalized for it. So that really scared me. And it made me really commit to the Willie program because I felt like that was the right thing to do. It was like the first time in my life dealing with my Crohn's that I felt like doing the drugs wasn't the right thing and that there was an alternative that I needed to try. And so I said to my doctor, well, how about if I come back in 6 months and we'll do a check? And she said, no, how about 3? Which made me realize that this was pretty serious. So I just hit the Willie diet full on, and I gave it everything I had. I had a lot of family and friends support. And it really was pretty easy for me to remove the things that I had sensitivities to. Wasn't that difficult. A lot of the way that I eat was already pretty much in line with a lot of the tips that Willie had given me. And I felt like she really supported me in the other ways to be successful. So I just hit it hard, and if I went out to dinner, I would try to pick the place because I knew that there were places that I could go where I could ask for what I wanted or what I needed to make it work for me. If I went over to people's houses, so I would just bring my own dish or my own food, or like I said, most of my friends were pretty supportive though, so they'd seen me going through Crohn's disease episodes, and they were more than happy to be supportive and try to help me. So they would say, what can you eat? What can I make for you? 3 months later, I went back to my GI doctor after now having been on the Willie diet for almost 4 months. And the way that my GI doctor would test to see how I was really doing was through blood work. So, of course, I went and did my blood work before I saw her, and she came into the examination room and asked me how I was doing, and I told her great, because I really was. I hadn't had any flare-ups in 4 months. I was feeling really good. It was just really working for me, and so I told her I was feeling great, and she said, well, according to your labs, things look great, and you don't need to be on any medication at all, and I don't need to see you for a year. I was pretty blown away at this point. And then the next thing that she said really blew me away, which was, so tell me more about this diet and who's this nutritionist, because I might want to refer other clients to her. So I really felt like it was just an amazing day for me. And so now it's been 2.5 years that I have been medication free. And I have had ups and downs with my Crohn's, which I knew was going to happen. Willie and I talked about that I have an autoimmune disease. It's not going to go away. I can't cure it. But now I know how to deal with it. And that's what was frustrating for me before, was I felt like I didn't have any tools. I didn't know what to do. The only thing I could do was take this medication that didn't seem like it was really working. And now I know how to handle it. I know what to do. And if I sometimes cheat or veer off course, you know, I know what's going to happen and I know why, and I know how to get back on course. So Willie has changed my life. She has changed my life with my family, with my children, personally. I just have a whole new outlook, and I know that following this is the right thing for me, and it's a lifetime commitment now, and it's one that I'm willing to make and I'm happy to make, and I'm just thrilled.